Good morning, reefing peoples. I just went through an exercise here that someone else may find useful, so let's put it down. This is a very, very old LED light. It's one of the first ones on the market. It says Aquarium, but it's made in China. It's been on a fish-only tank for a long time. Well, the power supply died. It's not unusual. And since it's so old, you can't find the power supply. And I don't even think they make them anymore anyway. So what do? Well, you don't really need the same power supply. You just need a power supply that has the characteristics that will make this thing run. So we're going to go through that. And I found amongst all my junk, let's put that one away, another power supply. And this one is not, as you can see, the same shape. But it does have one thing in common. This one says 12 volts, 1.3 amps. This one says 12 volts, 2 amps. And you say, oh, you can't do that. You can't put a higher current power supply on there. Not so. And here's why. Do you remember this equation? Voltage equals current times resistance. V, voltage, I, current, R, resistance. V equals IR. So we know that the voltage is fixed at 12 volts. We know the current is less than or equal to 1.3 amps. So the resistance is fixed. The resistance is the LED board and associated electronics that go with it. So the voltage is fixed, the resistance is fixed, so the current it's going to draw is whatever the resistance needs it to be. But it's going to be less than or equal to 1.3 amp. So as long as you match the voltage and equal or exceed the current the setting, it's going to work. There's one other thing you have to watch out for. As an example, that this one is labeled like this, which means that the center post in there, the hole, is the positive. And the outside, this is the negative. So you have to make sure whichever power supply you're going to use has the marking. Now, if it doesn't have the marking, and some of them don't, you have to use your power supply, and we're going to do that right now. Okay, here I've got my multimeter. Now you can use a multimeter or a voltmeter, but either way, you want to put it on DC, the voltage. I'm going to set this one to 20 volts because we know it's supposed to be 12. You take the red electrode, the pin, and stick it inside, and then touch the black electrode to the outside. And we got 12.3 volts. That's close enough. Now, if you did that like it is, the red on the inside and this on the outside, and you got a negative number here, you know that this isn't the right one. I'll show you. Okay, so I swapped these two. I put the negative on the inside, and I'm going to touch the outside with the positive, and you see I got a negative number. So if that's what you saw, then you can't use it because it's the opposite. Now, 99% of them are the center post is positive, so it really isn't that big a deal. Okay, to summarize, we found another power supply that had the right amount of voltage and exceeded or equaled the amount of current that we had. And we have the right post, so the center post, the hole is positive, the outside is negative. So we're going to use it, and let's plug it in and see if it works. Okay, there you go. Rock and roll is here to stay. So if you find yourself in that situation where your old power supply died and you can't find a replacement, you can use any old power supply that meets that criteria. Now on Amazon, they sell universal DC power supplies that range in voltage from, I think, 5 volts to 20 volts. Those are quite nice. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you later.